Evening, everybody. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. We'll have an opening statement from the head coach, then open up for questions. Please just get my attention if you'd like to ask a question. After Coach Fitz, we intend to have Ryan Valinsky and Cam Mitchell in here to represent the offense and defense. Coach?
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate you staying with us late. First of all, I want to credit Miami. We knew today would be a hard-fought game. I mean, they were really, really impressive on tape coming into the game. They had leads in the other two games, against Cincinnati and Kentucky, and down the stretch kind of ran a little bit out of gas, and obviously they played really well down the stretch. So I'll credit Coach Martin, his staff, his players. They did a great job, especially in crunch time when it needed to happen. That we had, again, unopportune turnovers. The worst time to give up a couple of explosive plays when we had fit things for the most part pretty well. But we continue, again, I don't want to discredit Miami, but we continue to beat ourselves, right? Giving up short fields, keeping our defense on the field with a block punt, turnovers. We got lucky again with one being negated by a review. So, it's not rocket science. You got to take care of the ball. You got to win the turnover ratio. You got to score points across the 50, and you got to, continue to limit explosive plays. I thought for the most part, for most of the game, our defense played pretty well. So obviously want to thank our students. They were awesome again, and that's 2 games in a row, and I greatly appreciate that. Our team greatly appreciates it. And I hope they don't give up on us. I hope they keep coming because it makes a big difference. And, we had an unbelievable visitor, my friend Dominic, today from Coach DeCure, from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, that we're trying to, fight a battle and raise awareness with Coach DeCure. And it was great to see him. I got sent a picture of him and I when he was a little kid on Monday, and it really made my week. And then, Stacy and I are very involved with Cap Kessom. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. It's a great student-run organization across the country, and I believe over 300 plus universities that runs an amazing camp, and then also year-round support and opportunities for young people to stay together when their parents have either in a battle or lost a battle of cancer. Stacey and I are very humbled to be a part of that group and honored to be a part of it, and our guys have been great supporting our students here that are part of Kessom. So with that, I'll answer any and all your questions. Thanks.
Hey, Coach, after a game like this, do you start to press the panic button and all? I know you said on Monday you weren't really worried about the direction the ship was going, but I guess at what point would you start to be a little concerned?
Well, I'm concerned when we don't win. Let me be very clear on that. Am I going to be, Debbie Downer or Mr. Nasty negative guy? No, I don't believe in doing that. I don't think that solves problems. We got to just continue to coach these guys, and we've in our building now, we've kind of had the same recipe now for 3 straight games with not winning the turnover battle, a mistake here or there defensively that gives up an explosive play. And then obviously today, giving them a short field, our defense did a really good job bowing up a handful of times. But again, credit Miami. They played well. They deserved it. They earned it. And, happy for Coach Martin and his players and his staff.
Coach, you guys scored in the first quarter and then fourth quarter, and you just credited the Miami's defense. But what do you feel like, what else stifled the offensive production?
Ourselves. Yeah, ourselves. It looked like we had a couple of drops. It looked like we turned the ball over. It looked like we missed some targets. We had some one-on-one opportunities and didn't look like we made anybody miss. And then when we did, we were starting to get some chunk plays and move the ball a little bit. And then we get across the 50. We turn the ball over. We have some empty drives with 4th downs. That usually we're pretty good at, and that obviously didn't happen today. Let's credit them.
You've gotten up here the past couple of weeks and talked about changes and improvements that are going to happen at practice. What do you think is going to be different this week heading into Penn State?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think we have a practice problem right now. The guys are working incredibly hard. We're just not executing on game day for whatever reason. Is it? Not the details. It's what it looks like to me. What's frustrating to me is what we saw today across the board, I think, is exactly what we practiced. So I start with us first as coaches and, are we not putting the guys in position and showing them the right stuff? I haven't seen that yet. We had the one play last week where they lined up in an illegal formation, shifted. That was pretty cool. I gave them credit where credit was due, and we over-adjusted. But outside of that, I think we've been pretty good. So I got to look at the tape, but I think from my vantage point, it looked like we lost some one-on-ones, and that can't happen if you expect to win. Along with the way that we're doing it on the macro level, not winning the turnover ratio, not making big plays. So got a lot to work on.
A couple of familiar faces getting back into the fold in the secondary. How did you assess their play this game?
I think like I assessed the whole team we lost, and it's a team loss. And so, it's disappointing. It's disappointing to say the least. So it's just great to have those guys back. I mean, they're experienced guys. You can't put a price tag on that. So it's great to have them back. They're great leaders. They're great players. They're great men. It's great to have them back. Hopefully we continue to have them back.
Now, get back to the earlier point. I mean, do you feel like at some point you do have to do something drastic? And obviously you're positive with us and you're positive
Sure.
now, but are you different with the team? Do you feel like you have to challenge them or?
I think I challenge him enough, Lou. Yeah. Do I need to tell you that or any?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I challenge him plenty.
Okay. What was your message to him in the locker room after the game?
Exactly what I just said. We can't beat ourselves. I had the same script for 3 games. We beat ourselves 3 straight weeks. Turnovers. Exactly what I just said to you guys. This is exactly what I said to them. And you got to flip that script. That's what we used to do to people. We turned people over. We gave ourselves a short field. We got after people in the kick game. The recipe to winning is still the same, right? Limit explosive plays, create turnovers, take care of the ball, score points when you cross the 50, and be really sound and smart in the kick game. And that's pretty much been our hallmark. Now, when you flip that over and you give the other team the opportunity to do that, that's typically what ends up happening is you're on the short end, regardless of who you play. You can't beat 2 teams. That's what I told. That was the end. You can't beat 2 teams. And that's what we've beaten ourselves 3 straight games, and that's ultimately my responsibility. And I got to get these guys to be confident on Saturday, because obviously that's what's not happening.
Coach, you guys haven't really played a true road game yet. Your first away contest was in Dublin. What is it going to be like to be on the road in Happy Valley next Saturday, and how are you hoping to prepare the team for that pretty raucous atmosphere?
Well, we got an amazing facility called the Ryan Field House in Wilson Field that will allow us to have some semblance of what it's like in Beaver Stadium. It's arguably one of the best fan bases in sport, one of the best arenas. It's going to be a huge challenge, and they're a very good football team. So we've got to get a lot better in the next week to be able to go in there to be able to compete, because they're a very good team.
What's the biggest positive you think you have going forward that makes you think that you can compete?
Well, we've lost 3 games by a total of 17 points, I think, something like that, right? So we've been in 1-score games and we've beaten ourselves, which means that the guys haven't folded when we haven't played clean. So that gives me a lot of positive from a standpoint that the guys are continuing to battle. I think we got talented guys in some areas with experience. I think we have some young guys that are talented. We got to keep coaching and help them get better. But we've got to win the turnover ratio. We cannot give that away anymore. We can't give the defense, short fields like we have basically the last 3 weeks. We've put our defense in a tough spot in numerous occasions. And we've got to be able to score when we get across the 50.
Coach, Luke Akers had 7 punts for 237 yards. Reynaro almost blocked a punt, and you blocked a field goal. Can you really speak about the special teams performance today?
Yeah, I mean, the block punt's completely unacceptable. So it's something that we work our tails off on, and we got a look last week, and I have a sneaky suspicion there was a little bit of a copycat, but were we too deep at the shield? Were we too slow? Because it looked like the guy went up, again, from my vantage point, it looked like he went up over the shield. So that really shouldn't happen by the way that we do things. And then we had a mental error on the next one that got tipped. We actually were misaligned. So that was frustrating. So we just got to keep coaching. We got a lot of young guys out there, and we've just got to keep those guys coming, because I think we're doing some good things. It's back-to-back weeks now we've had a blocked field goal. But we need to block that punt if we want to win the game. Those are the plays that we got to find, those little inches that we got to find to be able to win. That's kind of where we're at.
Going back to my earlier question, you said it's more like it's not a practice problem, it's a game day problem. What do you think it's going to take to fix that disconnect?
Well, I think winning, that cures a lot of ills. And getting some momentum and getting a lead. We haven't really been, up 2 or 3 scores in these last few games. So, any individual breakdowns, any individual mistakes on any side of the ball, it gets exacerbated when you're in a 1-score game. I know that because I've probably coached in more of them than anybody in college football over the last 15 years. And again, it's been a hallmark of who we are. We typically have won a lot of really close games because we do exactly what I just said. We play complementary football. And, again, credit Miami. I mean, I had 41 minutes of time of possession today. And, again, that's a lot for your defense to be out there. It's too much.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Have a great night. All right, go Cats.
We'll write the questions for Cam Mitchell. If you have a question, just raise your hand, get my attention.
Starting off, Miami had their possession time 41 minutes. What stress does that put on the defense, and did you feel like that was an issue later on in the game?
No, we don't see it as an issue. All week in practice, we stress just more TV time for us. Regardless of what happens on the offense, we just know that we got to go out there and keep playing.
Cam, you obviously returned to injury today. First of all, how did you feel playing out there, and how was it to go against one of the top receivers in that conference, and Matt Kippenhammer?
Yeah, Matt Kippenhammer, he's a great player. I really wanted to get back for this game. I didn't finish the game, but I was excited to get out here and play for my brothers.
Cam, you guys held the opposing quarterback to just under 60 yards, which is phenomenal. So, how did you guys do that, and what can you take away going into the future from that?
Going into the game, one of our goals was just protect level 3, not give up big plays. But, obviously we didn't fulfill all of those goals. We didn't take the ball away well enough today or at all.
Fitz thought you guys might have run out of gas late in the game. Is that what you felt like happened on the last drive?
I don't want to say we ran out of gas. We gotta find a way to just finish these games. I don't think it's a conditioning thing or I don't think it's a gas thing. I think we just got to finish. We got to find a way to just fight.
Fitz said that you guys are practicing well and everything, but it's not carrying over to the games where you talked about explosive plays and turnovers. What do you think can make that connection? How can you take that practice to the game?
It's a mentality. Guys just got to want it. Cause we practice hard, man. We practice harder than this year. We practice harder than we have in any past year I've been here. We just got to want it more.
Anything else for Cam? Thanks.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you. Same thing, we'll go right into questions for Ryan. If you have a question, just raise your hand first. Questions for Ryan?
I asked this to Coach, but you guys scored in the first quarter and then in the fourth quarter, and then, in between, of course, there was a lot of static. What caused you guys, of course, Miami's defense was good, but what caused you guys to slow down?
Yeah, I think we lost tempo a little bit. Guys just not hustling, not what we do in practice. Just not that it's a lack of urgency, but they're just trying to get their assignments right and don't really understand that the tempo's got to be a part of our tempo. And I think that just kind of caused static and some throws, of course, I want back. And we put ourselves in bad situations on first or second down with penalties or a non-efficient first down, which leads to not a great drive, really. So I think that's what comes down to. And like Cam just said, guys just got to want it. That's all I can say.
Ryan, for the second time this year, I should say, against Duke, we saw this too. You guys marched down the field at the end of the game and then had a miscue. How can you guys bottle that moving forward to build some offensive momentum? And what does that say about quality of the team that you guys are fighting late?
Yeah, I think that just comes down to focus and intent at the end of the game. Guys just locking in. I think it comes down to practice too. Like Coach said, we are practicing well, but whatever it is, we just got to do it. I mean, it's plain and simple. We got to figure it out. We got to study ourselves and figure out what's going on because this is not Northwestern football. Coach Fitz made that very clear.
Ryan, what do you feel like you have to do as a leader going into Monday, kind of to turn the ship around? What kind of expectation do you have for yourself for that?
Well, I think the first thing is just showing up and with a good attitude and a good mindset. I think that's the biggest thing because guys feed off of that. Obviously, losing 3 straight, it's not fun for anybody, especially after a good win for us. But we just got to come in and have that mindset that we want to get better, that we actually want to turn this ship around, that we actually want to go win football games, because if you don't, then get the F out. It's as simple as that. You shouldn't be here if you don't want to win, if you don't want to work hard, if you can't handle people yelling at you, if you can't handle your teammates yelling at you, or just because they want you to get better, then get out. So it's just we're going to be a tight-knit group. That's what we got to preach, because we all love each other more than anything. This is the tightest football team I've ever been a part of by far. That's why I love these guys, and we just got to figure it out.
Ryan, what positives do you have moving forward, right? You're going to start Big Ten play now. It's a big step up.
Yeah, definitely. I think the positive that we could take away from it is we're 1-0 in Big Ten play. I guess if you want to look at that and be like, hey, we've got to step up, and all of our goals are still in sight. I think that's a big thing that we could tell the guys, because, I mean, football's fun. I love this game more than anything, and I just want to go out and play with these guys and win football games. Obviously, it's not fun when you lose, but I think the guys just got to refocus on that fun part of it, not just play loose, play stress-free. Obviously, a lot of guys made some big plays. Proud of Malik for what he's done. Of course, he tosses the ball up, but that kid's a fighter, man. I love that guy. So I think it's just comes down to explosives and us taking care of the ball and just doing what we got to do to win football games, because this is not what Coach Fitz deserves. It's not what the defense deserves tonight, and it starts with me. So not a lot of positives, but give you a couple. Yeah.
Anything else for Ryan?
Okay. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.